Hello. So just a really quick follow-up from yesterday's video when I was talking about my coaching. Now I have questions, people asking if I do or I have clients like internationally in other countries, and yeah, I totally do. I would say at least 50% of my clients are international outside of the US, so totally not a problem at all. We can use Skype, Facebook Messenger, Instagram video, the WhatsApp. There's just so many different, like, thank goodness for technology for that, because it makes it possible for me to do virtual coaching pretty much anywhere. I've never had an issue with anywhere that someone's tried to connect, so that's great. So today's video is going to be short and sweet because on the weekends it's a little harder to sneak away and expect my family to be quiet for a few minutes. I never realize how loud my house is until I'm like, I gotta do a video real quick, and then it's very loud. But today I wanted to talk about this conflicting feeling that you constantly have in recovery of fear and just being pretty much straight up terrified, right, of what you need to do in recovery. But then also this feeling of like excitement and hope. So at least for me, my experience, I felt like probably at the beginning I had like 90% of me was terrified, but 10% of me was excited thinking about a future without an eating disorder. Like, I really was excited, but I can't say that it was like just jumping in and I had no fear. Like, I totally did. But what I found was if I focused on and put all of my energy towards that fear and didn't focus on the actual like joy and excitement that recovery can be, like being in recovery can actually be fun, that I just got into a really bad headspace and just kind of like lost hope and lost vision and just started really getting to a dark place, feeling like there's no way I can do this, it's just too hard. But when I focused on like that 10% that I started with of excitement, that 10% grew to 20%, and then that 20% grew to 30%. And that looks like, you know, that 10% of excitement would be like me being able to go out on a date with my husband and having this really like awesome experience. It was scary and I was really anxious and whatnot, but I remember like many dates initially in recovery driving home just being like, I can't believe I just did that. Like, I just got pizza like a normal person, didn't ask for light cheese, didn't change my order, like ate the whole thing, and now we're going to get ice cream. Oh my gosh, like it was like exciting, like exhilarating, like I'm just a normal person. It felt so good, right? And so then, you know, I'd build off of that, and then I'd focus on next time I was going to be exposed to doing something like that, focusing on all those positive feelings rather than focusing on, oh my gosh, you remember how scared you were when you got home though, and then it hit what you ate and you were freaking out and you felt like you couldn't have your night snacks and blah 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 blah, and you know you ate them anyways, but you didn't feel like you could enjoy it, and then then you start getting in a really negative space. So what you want to do is whatever, like small, even if it's 1% of just like hope and excitement about the idea of recovering, cling on to that and then look for ways to build on that excitement. So I totally understand that with COVID there's some restrictions depending on where you live, that you can't just go out and get food, and there's restrictions financially. Obviously not everyone just has $1 million to go out and buy food whenever they want, you know, fun, exciting food. But be creative, try to make it exciting. Maybe that's having a friend over and like having a picnic on your family room floor and you guys making like a fun dinner together, or asking someone to surprise you with a dessert and show up and watch a movie. I don't know, like get creative, but there's ways that you can challenge your eating disorder but also still have fun. Okay, so the message here is like, I want you to try to build that small little seed of the fun part of recovery and keep looking for ways that you can make it fun, and then just focus on that. Because what happens when you do that, instead of focusing so much on weight gain, right, or your body changing, or the fear and the idea of your body changing, now we're shifting our focus to the positive, the things that actually recovery is going to bring you, like having date nights with your spouse or a partner or a friend without having anxiety, and being able to be free to order what you want, and being able to, other things you'll gain is having the mental space to focus on other things that are more interesting in life. Other things you'll gain is being able to look at your body and its imperfections and just say, that's my body, it's okay. Like that's a huge freedom and huge weight off of your shoulders to not have to be so focused on all of those things. So if you can kind of shift your focus to the positive, Easier said than done, I know. But if you find that you're kind of falling into a rut in recovery and you're just feeling hopeless and what's the point? Every day's feeling the same. It's like, I'm doing it, you know, I'm trying to eat unrestrictedly, but this isn't like, this just feels kind of like it did before I started recovering. You need to instill some fun. You need to look for ways to get creative, to be able to celebrate with other people, to be able to join in, to do all the things that you didn't allow yourself to do when you were restricting. So that's my message today. Try to have some fun in recovery, focus on that, and that fun will keep growing on each other until you've got this great momentum that's carrying you through. When the fear starts to come, be like, no, I'm not paying attention to this fear right now. I'm paying attention to the fact that I just went out to eat and I was like, I felt normal for just a small moment. I'm paying attention to that, because if I keep doing that, that's going to start feeling more and more normal and more fun. Okay, rather than I went out to eat and it was terrifying and I was freaking out in my head and I'm terrified I'm going to gain all this weight now and I'm losing control and I just binge, and then it's a downward spiral. So hopefully I made my point here. Have a great weekend, depending on where you are. Maybe it's already Sunday morning for you. I know a lot of my clients in Australia, let's see, I feel like it's like around 10 in the morning. So if it is, happy Sunday. And if it's Saturday for you, have a wonderful evening. Go and have some fun. Loosen up a little bit, let your guard down, and just have some fun. All right, have a good weekend.